After spending 7 Fieldhouse, and this Fever offense has been swings. Clark on a step back.
They have size at every position.
Last time these two teams matched up, it was. This is Odyssey Sims in LA, played well in Dallas too, and that's it.
Clark especially was blitzed a handful of times, and it's been
Sia Jackson averaging 13 points per
break, and you can't let Kelsey Mitchell get
on Sunday. That tied the. She's pulling away a big lead in that.
Play has
going to work on Stevens, and here is Stevens who will launch.
Most teams have to.
Indiana with the defense. Lexi Hull going
about enough changes for this career.
Here's Mitchell putting on the move. Hamby goes back to work, and the scoop shot. Clark, step back. Here is Hamby who will fire from 3.
Did all the hard stuff.
And to win Rookie of the Month and Player VP. Here is Nalissa Smith, fire away. Just 11th in the WNBA.
Mitchell and Clark.
Awards, the coaching award.
It is New York, the top team in the league.
Mitchell was equally, if not more, deserving. Hamby just puts her head down.
She went right to bed, didn't even check.
Kelsey, thank you and for the franchise.
No question. She said 4, maybe 3. In the 6th spot in the play.
Odyssey Sims finds some space. Hesitation. Clark gets inside. There's Hamby fighting through traffic, flips it up. Shot. Here is Stevens on the roll up. Mitchell catch and shoot, whistle there.
Sent from beyond the arc, scored 100. It's amazing.
Here tonight, Mitchell
doing a really good job fronting Rakia Jack.
Indiana did times. Here's Lee, your
physical post who can run off.
Backdoor pass finds Kia Nurse. Fever turnover, so it hasn't hurt them in that. Jackson, nice foot. Here comes Boston, flips her shoulder, and it's Ray Burrell, who's just checked. Clark stepping back on the baseline.
To her game as well.
Burrell attacking the baseline.
And Indiana has not a low-scoring first quarter.
Shots because of that turnover.
Right, relax just a tad. You're playing.
Clark will launch up. A good fortune here if you are a fan and both playing in this building.
You can say that about the Indiana Fever.
Here in May, Clark 5 highest scoring, had more than that in a season.
Time to spend on all the numbers.
On the bounce, Dantas charging inside line. There's Burrell through trap
players. Smith and Dantas.
And here is Nurse stepping back, launching, and she was here. She hit 5 threes. Smith denial, but on a
fast break opportunities.
Nurse stepping back and
rid of it quickly. You got to move the ball
in the WNBA, so it's a little below.
Turnover margin, a +2
putting on the moves. Clark.
17 points a game.
On Kelsey Mitchell as she steps into a 2 right there with Ray Burrell and Kia Nurse.
Help Indiana.
Dantas over a double. See Sims on the drive. Draws the put together a fine evening. 10 average.
Execute in the quarter court. And now get you with some mismatches.
Mitchell trying to get this Indiana offense kick-start.
He's on the season.
And
home of the Imps. Same place as me.
Clark, good feed into Boston. Here's Azare again. Oh, doing
a D.
And Boston on the other end. Knocked down the 3 and forced the 2.
And executive of the year in this league.
Oh, feeding in.
And fast as North and Indiana play offensively.
Well, worth noting that sometimes it does. It's a 2, I guess, a couple of times. And they've got some impressive wins. And has it rim outs. And hit just 3 threes.
Go to LA's practice in the W because they work.
Here's Burrell fighting inside and then backdoor cut. It's Mitchell.
Boston does a great job of setting up Kelsey.
Burrell to switch on to Boston. Sims off the screen, driving into Samuelson. 3 total points since the Olympics. We haven't seen Christy Wallace much.
Coming off the bench again. Of course, Dearica Hamby, you know, she had
NBA level this year. Here is Hamby.
Hustle in the same sentence.
On Samuelson, shot off the mark. There's Hamby.
Starter on this team, number 2 pick in the draft. Having Cameron, we're sending our best to you.
A career year.
Because she wanted to be, and for Rakia, it's like you're going to be an all-star.
No question, and that's what advantage on Wheeler and Jackson.
She's an incredible athlete. You're a rookie, that's impressive.
Oh, Clark.
Get her going. Looks like they're going to their horn set.
Sims into hole. Angel on the drive, turns the corner and gets to the
pads over the thigh pads.
Well, we've seen that speed be such a break. Smith going one-on-one.
That's out of that play.
Here's Stevens. Top 3-point shooting teams in the league. Stevens will try it again.
has his team blitz.
He's finding some room to work down there. Not on a regular roster deal, Seals, but not a full-time gig. He's able to shovel it there to Stevens. Anna Mitchell staying aggressive, flips it up. Inbound, I think. Kind of had my mind on the gridiron.
Penalty on the official.
Here in the second half. With a crossover, driving into Smith, leaves a Clark crossing over, and drops his Sims giving chase. Caitlin Clark as Jackson throws up a wild, bounces for Boston. Here is Hamby on the other end, spinning.
Somebody back. You were on the same side. Look at Boston. We've done a lot of that lately. It does throw you off.
Tactician, it's always a chess match.
Timeout or a substitution.
Sims to switch on to Boston, driving on Boston.
Hill gets you in isolation. Look to it, Dallas.
On the drive, Clark hangs and banks it.
Can't stop her.
Jackson turning on, trying to establish Lee. You have to hoist from way outside.
From your defense.
On 16 points here so far tonight. Clark launching.
Mismatch for Azurá Stevens. It's a rich space to snake behind. You put a lot of pressure.
Drops it for Smith. Haven't been able to shake the sparks. Wheeler giving chase. Jackson on the Jets. Wheeler going coast to coast. Sit right there.
Yeah.
And Sunday. Base decision for Christie Sides. Extra pass. It's one. Indiana back up 5. And Clark trying to answer. You break out of that here as Sims on the drop.
They like to run for Kelsey Mitchell.
Nurse weaving her way inside and is
try to force some slippage.
Boston back for Clark. Let the Fever sit over to Burrell, who's open. Back for Samuelson, and the Fever don't get a lot to do here to try to nail down minutes here today.
Action.
Dantas fading, firing.
Action's tough to guard. What a take by
driving on Burrell, hangs and
guarded by Mitchell and Clark.
And Sparks have just not gone away. They've had Boston spinning inside.
Game. Nobody in the league runs.
Clark lobbing inside. Oh, downs. It's her 12th double-double.
It's been her ability to run the floor, play 1-0.
Fever hit with a moving screen there from Clark.
First 10 seconds of the shot.
Step back, hits a going behind the back. Oh, it's here tonight. And that Stewart's for the most ever.
Let me correct myself.
First, will she get it off in time? Just does. Mitchell pulling up. Fever have far more important things at hand. Be rolling, runs into hole, shot two.
Lexi Hall does not need fantastic.
On the CBS Sports app or at CBS 3 on 2. Sims taking it right up the middle. Smith with the rebound. Oh, pretty spin. Christie Sides really low. Burrell catch and shoot. Whoa, wait,
shooter open.
Mitchell, that's a deep two. Defensive end. And they lost Hamby. And
her second trip to the free throw line. She's
here as a pro, comes in your 10th, averaging 18 points per game. That's
Hamby talked about her 3-on-3 experience. A remarkable run by them.
Mitchell hoists and had it
for her 10th assist.
Gets reinforced.
I've said this before. It's called a coach's. She doesn't get an assist on the stat.
And for Hamby, right into Smith, maybe got away with.
By the Fever, they've only turned it over.
Indiana has been much more secure with their passes. Smith lost the handle, shot clock down to Smith. Been moved, floats it up, yep. The De'Erica Hamby, you're not battling like this.
And De'Erica
Smith on the drive. Smith lays it going here in the fourth quarter. Sims on the floor right now. Clark lets it fry. We're looking for win number 5 in a row. Either direction, I think Clark and Mitch, 11 assists and 12 rebounds.
To close out games, right? And they
behind her here is Stevenson firing. Thought about the 3 and traveled. Backing in on Stevens.
It's a really good ATO by Indiana.
Of the season, and that tops. And a big knock. Burrell cut off there by Boston inside. Nurse drives inside. Sims picks her pockets. And Sims.
Trail official that doesn't have space to set.
Has the ball under 2 minutes to go, trying to Cambridge Fieldhouse. Mitchell will take it herself. On the
Their tendency for the Fever is Kelsey.
Here's a Boston 3. Nurse is left open. She like it. Boston. Mitchell story.
Lexi Hall.
Break. Have we called her name?
17 for 25 foul here. I like the strategy. Play D.
3 drives her way inside. Muscles to
This play's taking too long, I think.
And all deservedly so. Not surprising. It's up. It won't.
Just going, what happened?
And they both belong to her. They're 18 and 16. So driving on Clark, feeds it back for Hamby. Hamby with a crossover, driving into Smith, leads us points. 7 assists here so far. Clark crossing over, and drop with a steal. Clark off to the races. Sims giving chase. Shoot. Little 5-0 burst from Caitlin Clark as Jackson throws up a wild. Clark off the screen, bounces for Boston. Here is Hamby on the other end, spinning it.
To look like you're not winning. Is it somebody back? You were Caitlin Clark on the same side. Look at Boston. The rebound is because Indiana has not seen a lot of that lately. It does throw you off.
He's such a master tactician. It's always a chess match.
Change the rhythm of the game. Sometimes it's a timeout or a substitution. Can't play the same all the time.
Sims to switch on to Boston, driving on Boston.
So they're very much a downhill, gets you in isolation. Look to it, average 17 points on a hardship in Dallas.
The Sparks. Clark being watched by Nurse. Clark on the drive. Clark hangs and banks it.
Fender. Really can't stop her.
Jackson turning up. Trying to establish Lee. Shot clock down to 5. Sims gonna have to hoist from way outside.
Is what you're hoping for right there, especially from your defense.
See Mitchell, Aaliyah, Boston, each sitting on 16 points here so far tonight. Mitchell to switch on to Lee. Here is Clark launching.
Snakes behind it, and then she creates this mismatch for Azurá Stevens. It's a when there's that much space to snake behind, you put a lot of pressure.
Mitchell putting on the moves. Mitchell on the drive, drops it for Smith. Shooting over 50% from the floor. Haven't been able to shake the Sparks. Inside for Jackson, poked away by Mitchell. Wheeler giving chase. Jackson. Now it's Wheeler turning on the Jets. Wheeler going coast to coast. Wheeler in her prime. That's it right there.
Yeah.
And Wheeler over Dallas on Sunday. Kind of a matchup-based decision for Christie Sides. Clark on the drive, behind the back to Boston. Extra pass. It's giving up good looks for great looks. Indiana back up 5 and
8 triples.
Clark trying to answer. You out of it, but we are starting to break out of that here as Sims on the drive.
Triple of the season.
Kind of night is almost what you expect from her.
Caitlin off that Iverson action. That's an action they like to run for Kelsey Mitchell.
Nurse weaving her way inside and is
be there in the last couple of possessions. Try to force some slippage, a confident level to finish off the season.
Boston back for Clark. Clark's hit 3 of them. With the feet. Sims whips it over to Burrell, who's open. And to her. Clark back for Samuelson, and the Fever don't get alerts. Indiana, a lot of work to do here to try to nail down. Wheeler getting some extra minutes here today.
Has been better in their court action.
Dantas fading, firing. Haven't gotten a good look.
Oh, that scissor action's tough to guard. What a take by
Split the double. Clark driving on Burrell, hangs and can't.
Giroux is being guarded by Mitchell and Clark.
And Sparks have just not gone away. They've had a sink at times. Boston spinning inside.
Such a good two-man game. Nobody in the league runs.
Clark lobbing inside. Oh, big break, 18 points, 12 rebounds. It's her 12th double-double.
It's been the value that Aaliyah Boston brings and her ability to run the floor, play one out of that high post area.
Fever hit with a moving screen. Backcourt. A little frustration there from Clark.
It's been good in the first 10 seconds of the shot because she can get a bucket on anybody.
Clark, step back, hits a here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's a couple of signature moments here tonight. And that, which ties Breanna Stewart for the most ever of her recent games.
Let me correct myself.
First with a shot clock down to 2. Nurse, will she get it off in time? Just does.
The way she creates separation.
Mitchell pulling up. Found shy of a triple-double. Fever have far more important things at hand. Hamby rolling, runs into hole, shot too.
Lexi Hall does not need, we've seen that since the Olympic break. She's been fantastic.
You will be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at CBS. Turnover. Here comes Sims with a 3-on-2. Sims taking it right up the middle. Can't connect on that three. Smith with the rebound. Oh, pretty spin.
Indiana.
Christie Sides really low need of her. Burrell catch and shoot. Whoa, wait.
Indiana overhelps and leaves the three-point shooter open.
Mitchell, that's a deep two. Weaver Needham stops on the defensive end, and they lost Hamby. And
that'll be 12 for her in her second trip to the free throw line. She's
not often your best year as a pro comes in your 10th. 30-year-old De'Erica Hamby, averaging 18 points per game. That's
Hamby talked about her 3-on-3 experience and then ended up getting in the medal round. It was really a remarkable run by them.
Possession there for Indiana. Shot clock down to 3. Mitchell hoists and had it.
Caitlin's looking for her 10th assist.
Gets reinforced. Ball, you don't get him on the free throw.
But you know what? I've said this before. It's called a coach's watch. Plays like that. She doesn't get an assist on the stat. Getting the ball to the right place.
And 22 points. Burrell bouncing here for Hamby. Right into Smith. Maybe got away with.
First half turnovers by the Fever. They've only turned it over.
It's a big problem, especially in the first quarter. Indiana has been much more secure with their passes. Points here tonight. Smith lost the handle. Shot clock down to Smith. Hamby attacking Boston. Spin move. Floats it up.
Kurt Miller's team this season.
Maybe if you don't have a De'Erica Hamby, you're not battling like this.
Here. And De'Erica
Clark, Boston. Here is Smith on the drive. Smith lays it. Smith getting going here in the fourth quarter. Sims on the group here. Now, a lot of veterans on the floor right now. Clark the switch on to Talbot. Clark lets it fly. The lead is 3. Fever looking for win number 5 in a row. Yeah, it could have gone, Kelsey, thank you, either direction. I think Clark and Mid has combined for 40 points, 11 assists, and 12 rebounds.
Indiana has relied on their defense to close out games, right? And they back
on a 3. Talbot tipped it behind her. Here is Stevenson firing when they needed it. Talbot back up top. Hamby thought about the 3 and traveled. There for a moment and said she'll back her way in. Backing in on Stevens.
That's a really good ATO by Indiana.
Boston with their 12th double-double of the season, and that tops. And a big night. Burrell cut off there by Boston inside.
Races it all at the rim.
For LA. Nurse drives inside, shy, but that time turns it over. Sims picks her pockets, and Sims.
Whistle comes from the trail official that doesn't have space to see.
What a major swing here as Indiana has the ball under 2 minutes to go, trying to go 50. Remaining here from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Mitchell will take it herself on the
line out of bounds. Their tendency for the Fever is Kelsey.
Mitchell whips it back. Here's a Boston 3. Cross court, Nurse is left open. Mitchell, shot clock down to 5, doesn't like it. Boston, Mitchell. Well, that's just been her story.
Lexi Hall.
Well, how often here out of the Olympic break have we called her name? Shot.
I mean, she's been 17 for 25. Kurt Miller electing not to foul here. I like the strategy. Play D.
Boston, shot clock down to 3, drives her way inside, muscles to.
She's been close a couple of times, right? This play's taking too long, I think.
For Caitlin Clark, and all deservedly so. WNBA, not surprising. Management of the ball, no huddle.
Same play.
It's up. It won't.
Kelsey Mitchell's going, what happened?
It's the second ever for a rookie, and they both belong to her. They're 18 and 16.